the Book of Alpha-Ronomy, homie. Read it or weep.
What's good, my Alpha brethren? I have a bit of advice for every man, and this is something that we should all seriously consider. We like to party, we like to club, we like to meet women out at these particular functions and events. Sometimes those events turn into one-night stands. Sometimes those events turn into meeting there, at some other point, and they always end in intoxicated engagement with a female. But I'm telling you that you should never, as long as you live, trust a drunk or intoxicated woman to be intimate with her. And I'll tell you why. Let's chop it up. Recently, in New Orleans, a Lyft driver, Yusuf Ahmed, he's a 30-year-old guy. He was arrested and charged with kidnapping and rape after sexually assaulting an intoxicated female passenger. Now, I know when I say that, it sounds like, this was some, violent occurrence where, there may have been some physical assault or something, but he picked up the woman. She was 43-year-old Harvey Wallbanger, of course. He picked her up, and the address that she put into the Lyft application was just a few blocks away from where he picked her up at. Instead, he drove the woman to his apartment, where he invited her inside and proceeded to, as they say, supposedly, rape her vaginally and anally. Now, I ask you this: how intoxicated is someone who's invited inside, decides to come in? See, there's a level of intoxication where if you know where you are, you know where you were, you know where you went, you know where you're supposed to go, that means that your mental capacity, your mental facilities are available enough to you to make decisions. Now, once this was done, he dropped the woman back off in the Bywater section of New Orleans where he picked her up. Now think about this. That sounds like he just dropped her off somewhere, but let's remember, her home was just a few blocks away from where he picked her up. So the Bywater section of New Orleans was where she was partying and where she lived. But they don't include that, which makes it sound like he just picked her up and dropped her off somewhere randomly, like threw her in an alley or something. Now, she reported the assault the following day, and she was administered a rape kit. And the catch-22 about a rape kit can simply show that a woman that she's had sex. Pull your DNA from her, and if she says it was an assault, it was an assault. Now, let me tell you something. The Jefferson Parish Sheriff, Joseph Lapinto, told reporters that Hamed claimed the interaction was consensual, but the chef summarily dismissed the idea. And this is where we get into the point of why this is dangerous in this society. I quote, "I hate to put it this way." Listen, he hates to put it this way. But when somebody's intoxicated to any point, we know in this society that this action is not appropriate. So I could care less about what he says from that standpoint. There it is. You see, in this society, if somebody's intoxicated to any point, this is not an action that you should be involved in, because it could very likely end this way for you as well. When a man says, "I hate to put it this way," it means he know that shit ain't right. He know it ain't fair to just automatically say, if a woman is intoxicated, that you're wrong, that she can't make any decision, that she can't say, this was consensual. But this is what you must understand. This is the nature of the female. Now, is it possible that there was an assault? Yes, it's possible that there was an assault. It's possible at some point that she knew what she was doing and she said no, and he continued. Yes, in this society, like the sheriff, I hate to put it this way, but in this society, all of these things are valid. But when you pick up a 43-year-old woman after a night out and she ends up going home with you, which is what, and let's be honest, if you don't have control of your libido, if you can't control your desire, yes, a woman can present something to you that you cannot resist. Now, what he should have done was say, no, let's go to your crib. But he probably didn't. You know why? Because she probably got a husband at home. You understand what I'm saying? There's a possibility that she has a husband at home. Of course, they haven't released the victim's name just yet, but I'll be looking into this, man, and I'll give you a further update on this. I just had to jump on this because this just happened, and I feel like there's something fishy in the water, and I ain't talking about the woman. You have to understand this, man. If a woman is intoxicated, there's a 50-50 chance that she is going to say whatever happened between you and her was not consensual. You understand? It could be something as simple as you going in, you being too excited, man, and you don't quote unquote please her the way she wanted to be pleased. Bam, there it is. Or she could just be using this as an opportunity to let her hair down and just go do all of the things that she wants to do, because she knows very well the next day, if she can't put it behind her, she can make sure to bring it to the forefront in the form of sexual assault charges, accusations against you. Now, Hamed is currently being held on $400,000 bond. And as I stated before, I am not saying that there's no possibility that this took place the way the woman says it took place. What I am saying is there is also just as much possibility that this was consensual. And she decided afterwards that it was not consensual. She didn't want it to be consensual anymore. So now here this man sits, being held $400,000 bond. Of course, Lyft says the safety of our community is our top priority, and we have no tolerance for this behavior on our platform. Of course, the bottom line is this. In defense of the female, not necessarily in defense of the female, but in chastisement of the driver, Yusuf Hamed, you're a Lyft driver. Pick up the person, take their ass to where they want to go. Don't put yourself in this position. Never step out of character because a female is offering you anything, or a female is enticing, or a female is whatever you think she is. Always stay in the mind frame that you're supposed to be in. And in this mind frame, he was supposed to be in hustle mind frame. So yes, he did put himself in this position. And that is why I'm saying, men, do not put yourself in this position. Never trust an intoxicated, inebriated, or drunk and high as hell female as a logical, reasonable sexual partner. Because it could literally come back and bite you in the ass. No pun intended. You guys let me know what you think about this topic, man. And as I stated earlier, as updates become available to, who the victim is and, what her familiar situation is at home and whatever other details come out of this, if they are worthy, then I will do a video. If not, I will post something in the community tab. I look forward to hearing what you men have to say. I'm out.
Like this video on your way out if you enjoyed the content. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. When you subscribe, click that notification bell. Make sure your notifications are on so you can be alerted to when I upload some more of this real shit. And as always, alpha's up, beta's down. Peace.